Afternoon, you gorgeous lot. I come to you from my car while I am waiting for my tumble drying to do in the laundretty type thing. Now I tried to record this video twice last week and it just didn't work. I fumbled my words, I wasn't making sense, and I just couldn't, it just wouldn't flow. And there's clearly a reason for that, because last night and today I had a bit of an issue, and I suddenly became acutely aware this morning of the story I was telling myself and the language I was using. And as I was driving to work this morning, I thought, that'll be why I need to tell you about that. So last night I booked a holiday through Airbnb for me and my husband and some friends of ours. Friends have got a dog. We'd been looking at stuff over the weekend, and one we'd picked was no longer available when I tried to book it. So there was another one we'd been looking at. So I went to book it last night, booked it all through, blah de blah de blah, messaged friends and said, right, it's all booked, it's all done. And she was like, okay, do we need to pay extra for the dog? And I was like, oh, they didn't ask for that, I'll go and check now. Got on to Airbnb, checked, and they don't take pets. And I was like, oh shite, I could have sworn that I picked all of the ones that we'd gone through and picked were ones that were pet friendly and they would take a dog. And it said no, it didn't. I was like, oh no. So I just basically went into a bit of a flat panic, right? I was like, oh my God. So I tried messaging the company, the people that were hosting the place. Obviously it was like 9-10 o'clock at night. They're not going to give a reply then. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do? So I cancelled the reservation. Then I looked at the cancellation policy. No cancellation policy, no refund. And I just paid several £100s as a deposit. I was like, no way. So I messaged her and said, look, this is what I've done. And then I thought, right, okay, I'm going to message Airbnb, American company, work different hours. So I started doing that. But literally in my head, I was going, you're a fucking twat. What have you done? You're flipping useless. Can't even organise that. And then I was telling my husband what was going on. And I was like, I've been such a twat. I can't believe I've been such a twat. What a stupid cow. I could have sworn. And then I was like, I could have sworn it was pet friendly. I wouldn't have put it on my wish list if it wasn't pet friendly. And I was coming out with all this stuff, and then it was amplifying in my head. And I was just like, oh my God. I was up till, I don't know, 11:30, midnight, trying to like calm myself down and thinking, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. So then this morning, I tend to journal in the morning just to see how I'm feeling when I wake up. So obviously it all came out in my journal, and I just wrote the words, I made a genuine mistake. And it kind of just sat with me, and I was like, shit, that's all I've done. I clearly didn't check properly because we were looking through loads and loads of places. But this place that we had all agreed on was pet friendly, and I hadn't checked properly, clearly. So it was my mistake. It was a genuine mistake. And I was like, that's all I've done. Everybody makes mistakes all the time. But that whole story I'd been saying about, I'm sure it was pet. They've changed their policy overnight and all this bullshit I was coming out with. Yeah, it was just mad. And I thought, and so when I just made a genuine mistake, it really kind of calmed me down. And I thought, that's all I've done. I've made a genuine mistake. And then, but then that like little bit of anxiety was popping up. Oh my God, are they going to refund me? It's like hundreds of pounds and all that kind of thing. And I'd had a message overnight from Airbnb to say that they were going to speak to the company involved. They couldn't guarantee that I would get a refund, but obviously that they would plead my case. And then this morning while I was at work, I got to work, a message popped up from Airbnb, and it was from the company that were hosting like the cottage, and they said, just to let you know that we've instructed Airbnb to give you a full refund. I could have cried. So I sent them a lovely message and said, look, I'm really thankful. So thankful. I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, and I'm really sorry to have messed you around, but I really appreciate the refund. Thank you very much. And it just really made me think just how my head and my language and everything just ran away with me because I felt bad that I'd made a mistake and I'd not checked properly. And yeah, it just kind of went a bit mad. And like you say, the story I made up to make myself feel better that they've changed their policy overnight. I could have swear I wouldn't have put it on our, and it was all that kind of thing. So it really made me think, and it really made me think that that's clearly what was the video I was meant to tell you today. So that's what I'm doing. So if your head's running away with you a little bit, give yourself a minute to check in and see what's really going on and why. I made that story up about them changing their policy overnight with pets, which they clearly didn't. And Airbnb had checked for me to make sure they hadn't. Because I felt bad. I felt